He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. He made him to suck honey out of the rock and oil out of the flinty rock, so that we might eat the increase of the fields and learn how to suck honey out of a rock. You say, what the heck is that about? To me, it's about finding something sweet in something hard. Something sweet in something hard. Do you know how to suck honey out of a rock? Have you ever tried? Let me tell you, it doesn't look real pretty when you're trying. How to get something sweet out of something hard. Why does that matter? Because we all have a bunch of hard situations, hard seasons, hard things we go through. But I'm telling you, there's something sweet. He is the honey in the rock. The sweetness of God can be found right in the hard places of our lives. I got to show the picture. Come on, let's get that picture of that motorcycle up there if you don't mind. There it is. 1976 Honda MR 175 Enduro. You say, who cares? Guys that like motorcycles care. That was not my first motorcycle. Mine was held together with baling wire and didn't look anywhere near that good. The first motorcycle I bought for $100. Worked so hard to save up that money. It died the first day I had it. Thank you for that. Can we do that again? That felt really good. That felt really good. Yeah. It was so depressing. Why? Because ever since I was 3 years old, my mom will tell you, at 3, I'd be in the backseat of the car, driving down the road. If I saw a motorcycle, I'd go, motorbike, motorbike. I was just fast. I can't tell you why. I just loved motorcycles. So when I finally got a motorcycle, and then it died, it was a big deal. Then I finally scratched together enough. I bought a motorcycle that was this particular motorcycle, which doesn't look too terrible to the naked eye or the natural eye. But let me tell you, in the world that I was trying to be a part of, this was not good. Okay? Our neighborhood was alongside of an affluent neighborhood, and these boys that I hung out with, their parents had lots of money, and they would buy them the greatest, latest, fastest dirt bikes that were out there, motocross. And there was a track not far from where we lived, and these guys would be over there screaming around, and I'd show up on this thing. And I'm telling you, this thing did not handle good. It's designed for the woods. It's not designed for jumps and turns and things like that. It's designed for the woods. But it's all I had. And so I rode this thing with all that I had, because it's all that I had. And I just loved motorcycles, and I just wanted to be a part of it. But I was always the guy on the receiving end of their dirt from their rear wheel. They were throwing dirt at me constantly. It was just a hard place to be in life as a teenager, okay? You just got to hang with me and throw the teenage part into the mix. So there I was, Honda MR 175. And yet I kept showing up day after day. They'd be over the track. I hear the bikes running. I go, I got to get my bike. And I go over there, and the guy throwing dirt on me, and I'm just holding on for dear life. And then I'd try to talk like I was a part of the group afterwards, and they always kind of looked down on me. There was like this, I mean, they didn't probably mean it, but there was just kind of this edge, like one day, we're a different league of people kind of feeling, So fast forward, I did this for a while, but I kept showing up, and I kept riding, and I kept being there. Well, there was a guy that lived over in one of these neighborhoods. His name was Kenny Smith. He was such a good rider that Honda sponsored him. Yeah, he got a sponsorship with Honda. He was fantastic. And he used to often go over there, and he wouldn't even be riding. Sometimes he'd just go over and watch the bikes ride and whatever. So one day we were over there, and we were riding, and I was out there doing my thing. And I had been steadily passing other motorcycles. And I actually got into the front. Came through a corner. I didn't even know Kenny Smith was there that day. Came through the corner. Big sand berm turn. The handlebar was almost touching the ground. I hope you can see me. Dirt flying up in the air. My legs out like this. I come out of this corner, hanging on to my MR 175. And on the outside edge of this corner, Kenny Smith is standing there with 2 thumbs up, going like this, just looking at me. My heart came out of my chest. Kenny Smith was standing on the outside of that turn with both thumbs up. I was like, I'm in heaven. Something, I just transitioned. This is amazing. It was like the pinnacle of my teenage life. It was over the top. And I realized later on that, how did that happen on such a lousy motorcycle? How did it happen? And this is what I'm trying to get to, getting something sweet out of something hard. The difficulty of driving that motorcycle required extra strength. The thing didn't handle well at all, so it was constantly on the verge of crashing, and just as I did it over and over again, as I just kept at it, something was changing in me. I was actually experiencing certain disciplines they were not. In all of their cushy, got it together lives, everything's floating along. The adversity was my friend. And it made me a different kind of rider. I wasn't going to bail when it got a little bumpy. I learned how to handle bumps. I wasn't going to just crash out when, I learned through the adversity. God taught me how to get something sweet out of something hard. Why does that matter to us? Because according to the text in Deuteronomy, God's going to teach us how to fly upon the high places of the earth, how to eat the increase of the field, and how to suck honey out of the rock. And a lot of you today maybe are feeling like I was way back then, like life isn't fair. I'm not privileged. I don't have the opportunities other people have. Let me tell you, could it be that God has custom chose your circumstances? Because he's got a calling on your life that requires a little difficulty to shape you into what he's looking for. Could that be? I'm here to say that is the way that is. He's looking for people like you and me that are not going to be defined by how much money, how popular, all that. No, you're going to ride what you're handed. Yo, look at me like, ride what you've been handed. Stay in the race. Keep on showing up. It might not be popular. I'd rather be a part of a small church that's held together with baling wire. Not that that's us. Just saying, I want to make sure there's clarity about all that. But I'd rather be a part of a people who've just decided to show up regardless to how the other stuff is working or not working, than to be a part of a place that outwardly is all this and that in a bag of chips. But there's no leaning in to the stuff that makes us overcomers, that makes us learn to fly, that makes us learn how to handle tough places. You know what? The world is going to be desperate for people just like you and me who've learned to overcome on an MR 175. Whatever your life is, we've learned to keep riding. We've learned to keep going. We've learned to stay in this thing with God. And as a result of it, Jesus, come on the outside of the turn coming up is going to be standing there with both thumbs up for all of you and me. And he's going to say, well done. And then what happens when you get a real motorcycle? Look out. I don't know. I just think there's something coming to a people who've been faithful, a people who've hung in there and learned to get honey out of the rock. Some of you today, if that's all you got from this message, it would be enough. Stay in the race. Don't compare your life circumstances to everybody else's around you. Accept in a godly way, accept God's provision in your life, handle it and steward it well. Hold it together however you have to. Keep on keeping on.